Thank you for joining us today. I'm going to demonstrate how to use the Golvo Patient Lift to mobilize your patients earlier and often. Every patient handling situation is different because patients are different, whether it's due to size, weight, morphology, age. It's important to consider these variables and also reference your facility policy regarding safe patient handling when transferring patients. And now we're going to review the basic functions of the Golvo Lift. It's important to know that the weight capacity for the Golvo Lift is 440 pounds. If you don't remember when you get the lift what the weight capacity is, you can find that by checking the tag right down here on the side of the lift. It's also important to know that we need to plug in the lift when it's not in use. Plugging in the lift when it's not in use will charge the battery and keep a healthy battery life. The emergency stop button is located right here. The emergency stop button will disconnect the battery from the lift and stop it from charging. It's important to note that and how to reset it. To activate the emergency stop, push the button in and you do a little quarter of a turn clockwise and the button will pop out by itself to deactivate. Down here is the battery display. This will tell you the level with which the battery is charged and if it needs to be recharged. Next, we're going to take a look at the hand control. The hand control has 4 arrows. 2 of the arrows are double, which mean a standard speed, and then you have a single arrow, which is a slower speed. There's also 2 buttons that will show you closing and opening the base. When you go ahead and push this button, your base will open wider. And when you push this button, your base will narrow. Next up, we're going to talk about the emergency lowering. There may be an instance when your lift runs out of battery in mid-use and you need to lower a patient back to a surface. We're going to go ahead and undo the sling bar, and then we're going to press this red emergency lowering button right here, and you have to pump that to lower the lift down to the patient at a safe height. It's important to also note that if we do that, we lose significant lift height, so we need to pull the pressure off of the strap and coil it back up. So we need to pump that right back in there and get it to where that red line meets the box, and we're good to go. Next, we want to talk about the brakes. It's standard to not lock the brakes when you're using a Golvo in most lifting situations. You would only lock the brakes when you're actually rescuing a patient off of the floor. So to lock the brakes, down here you'll notice that there is a red brake pedal that when you step on it, it will engage and lock the brakes. We actually then need to just raise that pedal and you will unlock those brakes. Again, we only use the brakes when we're lifting off the floor because we want the lift to pull towards the patient and we don't want the patient to center towards the lift.